Hello everybody, AOG Gaming here, back with another video on Dislyte. We're gonna do something fun today. It's not really content, but it's basically all the comments and reviews that have been piling up against Dislyte. Not specifically against him. I mean, there's some that like far is decent, and I agree as well. She's definitely needed for the PvP meta. But that's like the only good thing that they released. So, oh yeah, um, pretty sad. They released Emma as well, which is a good Esper too. I guess I should mention that. Um, just gonna skip the elephant in the room, which is the fucking falsetto fantasy and ah these divinates, huh? I keep giving them suggestions and they don't even like listen or comment. Like, come on, at least show us you're visibly listening by commenting. Like, it's one of the best things you could do. But of course, no. Yeah. So let's just go over comments and videos people have. Right. Um, and this is all on YouTube. So first, we're gonna start with Daddy Free to Play because everyone knows him, and then we'll go to Zoxiskin, and then we'll go to GJS, and just look at the most recent video they made. Um, which one was it? This. So this one's the one with the most views, but this is the one specifically talking about Farah. I mean, everyone. That's the good part, though. So let's do the divinates. Oh no, this is other video. Wait. So we'll go back like a week. Nine. Mm, well, I mean, he made quite a few videos. So let's do this one where he's specifically talking about the bad thing in the game. Yeah. 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 I mean, yeah, he speaks the fact, he's spitting facts, you know how it is. Yeah, can't wait to never get him. Yeah, I mean, she is. And with the tyranny said it's disgusting, yeah. Yeah, and then here's what one person said, and I totally agree with this. It's smart. They released OP stuff and solution to OP stuff in the same patch. I mean, it's a sarcasm, and same for me. It's funny, but it's not what I wanted. Basically, in order to counteract all the OP stuff, which is kind of what they have to do, because think about it. We've gotten used to the OP-ness, so if you take away the OP-ness, then the game will just die 100%. Because those overpowered characters, like once you get them, they make such a defining impact on your account that it's just not even funny. Like that's why it's not fun. It's not funny. It's not fun. So yeah. So let's keep looking. So yeah, no answer. How about we make a unit that literally dominates the current meta? Devs, you have a brilliant mind. I am in power creep meta for life. I'm glad I jumped ship. So I'm not in the same boat as you, unfortunately. It's because I thought this live would have been a fun game that I could make decent content on and actually like let people know that this is a good game to play and everybody should be playing it if you're playing the gotcha game genre anyway, because this is a game you're gonna like. But yeah, fortunately, people are jumping ship, and I can't advise otherwise because the game is going downhill. The developers aren't listening. They say they're listening. The amount they're listening is not enough. It's not even the bare minimum to keep players here. It's just not enough to the point where people are quitting because we're seeing it in every other game. So if they do the same thing that companies do, other companies that are like the Chinese companies who just make a game and then just end it within like 3 or 4 years if it's really good, and if it's bad, then it dies within like a year or two or a few months, depending on how bad it is. Um, and they scam people out of the money. So it's just the same thing. This slide's doing the exact same fucking thing. Um, and then yeah, so this is the first problem I wanted to address with all that everyone is talking about. It's the fact that they released Toland, right? And this was one of the worst updates that Dislyte has ever released. I'm fine with them having an overpowered shimmer. I'm not fine with them releasing a shimmer that literally ruins the PvP meta. And this was specifically because TA. They were like, oh, well, TA is the most overpowered AP speed cleave controller in the game. We can't have that because shimmers are the best, right? So let's just release a shimmer and completely ruin everybody's day who's free to play. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Um, so yeah, it's pretty hard. And then Farah is like the ultimate because of course Toland was a good character, but they realized with the update, yeah, he's quick and fast, but TA is just like unless you're specifically shutting down TA, and even then, like there's a lot of stuff. Like you still get the speed lead from TA. So like if you have like a really fast set on both her and like an immunity character, like I don't know Gabrielle or I don't know Clara or Pan, like any of those three PvP units that staples that people use. And you have a TA as well. Like what are they gonna do with the Toland? Yeah, they'll shut down your either your immunity or your AP control, but then they can't do anything else against you, or you can just control them, like AP control them to death. So it really was like them like realizing, okay, now we got to release Farah, and that's the problem. She's so overpowered against TA, it's gonna kill TA. So now everyone's gonna be getting Farah, and nobody's gonna be using TA. Why? Because even at R0, Farah is that good against TA. It's literally disgusting and horrendous how this update's gonna end up. Yeah, and everyone who had TA R6 TA as well, unless the enemy had, I mean, even like R4 far, I think could go decently against TA. But I mean, R6 TA is pretty disgusting with Avatar set. Um, yeah, and then of course nobody's gonna be able to get it. So, and then here's another comment: in order to beat the speed meta, you need to outspeed the speed meta. Yeah, pretty much. Um, yeah, and then of course against Ethan, he's pretty strong because he can still shut down Ethan. So you still have the immunity at the beginning of combat, but if unless you outspeed the Toland, it doesn't. It doesn't really matter because then your pan's gone, so you don't got that damage boost or immunity. Just for the first turn, except for Pan because Toland can dispel those buffs. So yeah, and it can't be removed, and it's silver. So that's the thing. People don't realize the debuff cannot be removed, and it's silver rimmed, which makes no sense to me. But maybe you can cleanse it. So if someone who's dumb uses like I don't know Sobek, a Sander, no, a Sobek, sorry, not Sander, Sobek, which is the crocodile dude who dispels all buffs and debuffs on the enemy. Technically, your allies aren't removing it, so would it be a removal or a dispel? Like I don't know how that works, but yeah, if it doesn't work like that and they just made it silver rim to make it seem less powerful, then yeah, scummy move that Dislyte does again. Another scummy thing. So this is my biggest gripe because this was the lowest like point that everybody felt Dislyte was. Now they're doing a little bit better, but this was one of the biggest nails in the coffin where people were like, all right, well they're just gonna release speed meta, like there's no point in playing the game. um and they say speed meta being dead, and I don't see the problem. Again, Toland, they just release one character, change up the entire meta, which I don't think that's what it should do. But again, they released Toland, they released Nora. They're characters that pretty much, I mean, Nora less, but still, she was. Same with Hilda. Now they're releasing Farah. Guess what? She's going to be meta as well. Because TAs are out there. I think TA, especially like early and mid game, like it's going to ruin everybody who does not have Farah and has TA. That's simple. Um, all right, then we can just go to like one of his newest videos. Um, yeah, so they're recycling content again, so that's something that people are upset about. I am upset about that as well. So Crunchy 2494, I agree with you as well. Um yeah, and then it's the R2 meta as well. People are still complaining about that. It's still a problem they haven't fixed. they keep telling us, "Oh, you're gonna get more resonances." Well, I'm telling you guys, with this Divinity patch, it's gonna make it much harder to get resonances. People don't believe me. People say they know what probability looks like. Take an AP Stats class. We can talk after that. That's simple. Like everyone says they know how probability works. Yeah, probability is simple when you only have one percentage to counter in. When it's multiple percentages of parts of certain categories and attributes and whatever, probability is a lot harder than people think. And it's funny that they think Dislyte is keeping the chances the same. That's an illusion. Numbers can be used to lie so easily. And the pie charts that they showed us are complete lies too, because again, when you it's a 50-50, so if you get an Esper, you're not getting a Divinate. So why is that in part of the Esper pie chart? When if you get an Esper, you're not getting a Divinate. Like that's how probability works. I'm sorry, it's just probability is logical. Like I just don't understand people who are stupid enough to believe the chances. It's just funny. But we'll see when we get there. They'll start making videos. Sorry guys, I didn't calculate the chances properly, and then I'll make a video like, yeah, I argued with this person and they were wrong. They said I'd be wrong. So obviously I wasn't, and I know because not only did I take AP Stats and pass the class, but I had an A in that class. That class was super easy compared to Calc. Oh my god, Calc! Don't even talk to me about Calc. Calc is a horror show. All right, well let's get back to stop ranting and back to this. Yeah, let's take this cool mechanic from AFK Arena and make an event. I'm not mad. It's good content. Same here. I agree as well. So why don't they just take all the good things and ideas from other games, bring this to this time, make the game fun again? Exactly. This site, you want a fucking role model? Just look at Epic 7. They are doing an amazing job at having a free to play game. Mobile Legends Adventures, they're doing a good job, but they're also kind of on the same track as you guys, where the recent updates have just been a pay to play meta. Because it's the same thing. Like, in order to even get those espers that they have, or the heroes that they have, they don't have a round pool. Like, it's the same thing that I'm saying. You should give people a chance to get espers all the time, because then you just will make money all the time. I don't fucking understand why the pools are limited time. Yeah, that drives up sales short term, but once people realize it's going to be the exact same fucking thing all the time, they're not going to want to waste their time waiting, expecting something, and then being disappointed and having to spend money anyway. That's literally the whole, like, their marketing team is one of the goddamn worst on the planet. That's all I gotta say, because they are completely intrusive on the whole design element of the game, to the point where it's again deadlights. People are leaving and jumping ship because this game is going downhill to the point where even Daddy Free to Play and Kun are thinking of quitting. Like, it's that bad. Okay, now let's go to Kun again. And yeah, let's go to the Dislyte doesn't listen to feedback at all. Again, even a major creator, like, these are people who want the game to stay alive, who want positive things to happen in the game, but even then can't morally sit there and tell their tell their base fan, like, yeah, invest in this game, because it literally is hurting them as well. Like, it's just bad. So yeah. And then here, I quit Dislyte, but I'll keep up to see if anything changes. Same here, I don't regret anything. Same, left just watching. And then feeling like doing the same, yeah, exactly. And then here again, going hard in E7. Like, there are games that already have good mechanics and people are playing them. Why don't you just follow that Dislyte? Why do you have to keep releasing pay to win content? Pay to play content also, because, like, same thing with Mobile Dislyte, sorry, Mobile Legends Adventure and Dislyte, is that there's banners that aren't their limited time banners, and that's a problem. Like, they should just have rate up banners all the time for espers. And yeah, they have them every update, but then when there's no update, you don't got a rate up banner. So what is the point? And it's only one esper, so they should rotate it, like, every few days. That's simple. And it's literally not that hard. It would take me 10 minutes to code that, put it in the game, call it a day. And you could make millions off of that, because people would be like, oh, I can get these espers pretty fast. And the whales would just be buying the wish stones. Free to play would be grinding and then using their wish stones appropriately. That's simple. And then you can have permanent banners. Like that's simple. It literally will make you more money than it will lose you, but not putting it up is making you lose money because it makes the game less free to play friendly. That's simple. So yeah, I mean, it's just again, and like I'm saying right now, the divinate system is a problem because of what they did to the echo draw and the chances. Again, like I said, people don't know how to do probability unless they take AP stats classes. People can say otherwise, but it's true. Like unless you're literally educated on how statistics work when percentages come and play a role, and specifically when there are different items you can get different chances, it becomes very diluted, and that's what people don't understand. It's a scam, and it's very hard to see because math in itself is hard. Probabilities themselves are harder than people think, and it's really sad to see creators even being deceived by that. So I'm pretty sure you guys will see it in the updates when you guys aren't getting the legendary espers or as many as you want, because again, they're separate, but the probability is not. The probability for for espers and divinates are separate, but the probability for getting either one is not because it's from the same goddamn draw and it's a 50-50. That's simple. Um, yeah, so people are just leaving again. It's just a horrible system. So speed, the R2 meta, the pay to play with half of the espers, like yeah, you could get the wish stones. That's if you're late game and grinding. Anybody late mid game or before that, there is no feasible way they are grinding enough wish stones to get like any espers at all. Like usually when they have the wish stones, it's just coincidence that there's an esper that they need. Otherwise, either they won't spend it or they'll get an esper they don't really need, but it'll push their account for the short term. So getting that esper is even good that in that way. So like it's that as well. Like people don't understand that Dislyte itself is a scam. It is turning into more of a scam because again they're releasing more espers, diluting the pool. Now they're introducing the Vinates again, diluting the pool even more. This is what people don't understand. Now you got double the amount of freaking divinates. Not even that. You have to double the amount of items in the Echo Draw that you can get. So you have half the chance that you had before of getting a specific legendary Esper. And that's the thing I don't think creators are addressing. You literally have even less of a chance now with the Divinate system to get a specific legendary. Even less of a chance. Because it's so diluted. And it was a problem before when they were just releasing Esper by Esper. And I mentioned it before. They keep diluting their pool, which I don't think is a problem if they implement the right free to play stuff for it. And this is the thing that Dislyte needs to understand. The more espers you release, the more materials and free espers you have to give people for them to actually be able to get the resonances for them to be viable. Because you made the R2 meta a staple in the game. Which is fine, I say, because you're balancing it out pretty well. That's a lie. They're not balancing it well whatsoever. Dislyte's doing a horrible job of it. But it's at least one of the more tolerable things of the game that's bad. It's not that bad. Like you can make up for it with gear and specific espers and setups and stuff. But yes, the R2 meta is definitely still a problem. And again, getting a specific espers is the problem. That's why the R2 meta is a problem, because getting specific espers is a problem. Yeah, they added all of this pool stuff, but again, wish stones are not the solution. Unless you guys increase the amount of wish stones and chances to get wish stones, they are literally not the solution. So you should give us a rate up with gold records. That's simple. Yeah, people will mostly be pulling for those banners, but only when specific espers are there. Otherwise, they'll be using the other, and of course, for divinates. And why they need to add this is because, again, they added the divinates to the gold draw, so now getting espers normally for anybody below mid late game is going to have a hard time because they're going to have a hard time grinding the wish stones to get specific legendary espers from the other pools, and it's just going to be that much hard. So now that they have the divinate rate up, I think they have to have an esper rate up. That's simple. And if people don't believe me, well, let's wait till the 26th when the update drops and you get shit for all your draws. Because I will be laughing my ass off. You probably won't. You'll be pissed. But again, like I said, I expected this because again, I took an AP Stats class, so not trying to brag or anything, but it's a requirement if you want to delve deep into probability, because that is 100% what stats is based around, like half of the time. So like I just don't understand. Like I could do a whole in-depth video if you guys want, but I won't do it because again, that'll take me more time than making a normal video that's still good content. And doing that is not helping anybody because again, people won't listen until the update comes out because again, creators don't know how to do math properly when it comes to more complicated things. And some do. I'm not saying all of them do, but some don't. Cuz yeah, playing games makes you good at math just generally. You have to be good at math in order to play a game competitively. That's just how it works. But all you really need is addition, multiplication, subtraction, ratios, and some percentages. You don't need to delve that deep. The problem is that companies can delve as deep as they want with statistics because that is how they make money. That's how they marginalize stuff. So, what can they do? They can lie with statistics. So, let's wait. We got how many more days? We got 5 days. We'll see how bad the update is and if people are complaining about the Esper draws. And again, I said they have to have a legendary rate up, just like they did it for the Divinates. Because, like I'm going to say, the Divinates are fine. I haven't been complaining about the Divinates. Getting them is easy. I've been complaining about the fact that they're all shit and it's a horrible system in itself because only the legendaries are getting good stuff. And again, like I said, the epics are what need it. And well, more specifically the rares, but we all know they're not going to give a shit about their rares. And again, going back to what I was saying, where you back like I don't know 10 last year when you could actually sacrifice your epics and your rares to your legendaries and use them as Starmion, which was so much easy because like even with all the Starmion stuff, you could still use your epics. Yeah, it sucked because some epics are needed, but it was good to some extent because you could get multiple copies of the same Esper and then just use that copy to you know sacrifice it. And I think this would be fine if you had R6 Espers. Instead of getting an epic Starmion that's not going to do shit for you, you just get a 4-star. You can upgrade it to 5-star using these epic. I guess it would cost one less epic Starmion. So because again, it's 4 epic Starmion to get them to 5-star the epic Espers, and then it's 5 epic or sorry legendary Starmion to get them up to 6-star or just any Esper in general. But yeah, and then again here is like he's talking about main problems here. This person. Epics and rares are becoming less and less useful. New bosses are commonly reused assets, and divinities are a dull power boost and furthers the gap in characters. Yes, it's only a dull power boost. Again, power boost to what? The legendaries. You can't tell me those epics are going to do anything. They're not going to do shit, specifically because they don't even get as much of a stat boost as the legendaries. So just the stat boost itself on the legendaries overpowers all the shitty epic divinities they released. Just the basic stats, because it gives them a 30%, which is twice the amount of stats. And it also like the basic stats that they add on top of that, not the percentage, but the attack and the HP that they add. So again, making this game more pay to play, because now you have to pay for the legendaries early game and late game in order to have them at the right resonances, in order to use them feasibly and all that stuff. So kudos to you, Dislyte, for killing a wonderful game. And then again here, you guys have great character designs and visuals. We aren't disagreeing with that. So, you can keep releasing that. The problem is you're making it a paywall. Again, this will incentivize everybody, including whales, because they have to go through a whole process of verification and payment confirmation to have fun. Since when is the definition of a game a paywall to have fun? I want you to literally go on a fucking computer and search up the definition of what a game is. It is an activity that is easy to have fun with. That's simple. You're making it more difficult to have fun. Again, that's simple. So just fix that. um, yeah, and then again, they ironed up a couple of massive mistakes, like I said. So again, the TA update, the balancing. Of course, they have to address Trevor, but they're probably not going to because it's a shimmer, and they're as money greedy as anybody can possibly get. So, well, no, that's not true. They still have some free to play aspects, so they're not the greediest money, but they're pretty much turning into them at this point. Um, Yeah, and then some people say I just play it because it's an okay game on the side of the phone. Yeah, that's pretty much where most people are at now, and that's only the people who are left who are the biggest fans. So like you're killing even them. And then yeah, the true colors of Dislyte were revealed with this patch. The fact that they sent this patch with no changes, they didn't listen to the beta tester suggestion and copy pasting bosses is beyond the joke. The developers don't care about the community and they care about the whales. Again, like I said, the reason is that the whales and the average players, the ones who mostly got screwed because the whales, they don't care about money, they were scammed and they kept buying into it without realizing. And again, I said statistics. Once people started doing the math for more of the simpler like pools and draws and echoes, whatever you want to call them, the whatever the draws for all the different games are, started realizing they were pretty bad. Again, why do you think most free to play games have their weapon banners and their hero banners separate? This is the reason I'm talking about, is because it literally creates an even worse chances of getting espers, and it's a hidden thing. It's hidden probability. It's hidden because when you do simple probability, it doesn't work. But when you do a like it's my brain is just blown at how people think math can be that simple when they do this. Like, tell me another game where they have both the hero and the equipment in the same draw, and tell me that game is doing good. Go on. All I hear is crickets. So yeah, I mean, Epic 7 has a great way of doing their system. So even though it's part of the draw, they're still rate up for heroes so that it's much easier to get heroes from some pools than it is from others. So, again, people will see the truth. Um yeah, and then again this thing, they're adding fucking hard mode. Like unless they nerf the normal mode, it's not gonna help. Even me, I'm a fucking level 90 something player. I haven't gotten a single S rating on the Desolate Lands. And that's just because of the espers. I'm almost there. I'm almost where I have a S or EX plus plus team because I have um Freya, whatever her name is. Um I have her maxed out, so R6, all of her abilities maxed, except for her basic. It doesn't have the last one, but that's just a damage multiplier. I'm almost done maxing out my Chloe with her skills. I have her maxed R6. I have to finally get Unki Chai to 6 star. Um, by the way, when I say R6, I also mean 6 star because that's usually what I use them for. Um, so that's 3 espers I need right there. I need to, like, again, they left out one esper that's really fucking good for this content. And yeah, it's free to play, but you have to sign in on the game at certain times and get it. And again, that's a detriment to everybody. Why the fuck would they gate that? Even for the paying players. And it's what's her name? Meredith. Because she's so useful for so much late game content, but getting resonance on her is one of the most painful things in the game ever. That it's not worth it. It's literally not like for your time. It's really just worth it to buy her. Like it's that simple, and it's sad. It's sad. Um, yeah, and then this guy just talks about more stuff, but yeah, literally spoon feeding them. This is the problem. We were speed fooning the gotcha gaming industry, and as a result, they took advantage of that and tried to scam us as much as possible for as long as possible. Because now they're gonna have to realize that they're gonna have to make good games, and they're gonna make them as fair as possible, and try and cut as much free to play stuff as they can out of it, while still remaining free to play friendly. and then that'll just be their business model now. So yeah, it's just really sad. Um, yeah, and then Zox is like even the creators are just tired now. I'm tired at this point as well. I'm moving to other content because why? Just like if you're not gonna listen to me, why should I free market your game? Why? It's just that simple. Yeah, and again, the 3 stars aren't worth building anymore. I haven't built a single 3 star unit. Like the last time I can remember was Unki Chai, maybe Leon and Charmer, because those are espers that you can still use for like some speed clear stuff, some like very free to play friendly, like really cool stuff. But that's it, and I haven't maxed them out. Like I built them just a little bit. So yeah, really sad. Yeah, people who think the divinates are good for the game are the same people who asked if Panacea set would work on guys in world chat and leave spicy. Yeah, exactly. Really sad. And then again, this guy's trying to stick through it. Again, kudos to you. I'm doing the same, but again, we'll see. It's tiring. So even these people, who again, I'm with them on the same boat. Like even if that free to play daddy and Zoxus can leave, I'm gonna quit making normal content on the game. But if I'm gonna still play it, and if I see that it gets better, then I'll start making content again. But if it gets worse to the point, then I'll stop playing it altogether. So it's that simple. Um, and then yeah, here again, people play these other games that are much more rewarding, much better, and they realize why the hell should I play this waste of a joke of a game? That's simple. So people are switching to E7 alone. And again, I also recommend trying it. It is kind of overwhelming. Again, I will say Dislyte is definitely more beginner friendly. So this is the thing that E7 has to fix. They're not very beginner friendly. It's just a lot of grinding and stuff you have to do in that game, but you get so much rewards for it. It's not even funny. Like just go watch Zoxiskin's video on just the daily videos he made on E7. He is grinding a ridiculous amount, and he's following like the best free to play strategy if you're trying to be a hardcore gamer, obviously. um Again, this is an average ordinary gaming channel, so we're going to be pushing hard but not sweating there's a lot he's doing. Yeah, and again, there's like they're not even sponsoring me. I'm not even making E7 videos yet, but I'm going to start just because it's that good. It's such a good game. Why shouldn't you? It's that simple. And then again, the divinate system is just horrible. Because if you get divinates for espers you don't even have, especially for free to play, that this is literally ruining everything that's not late game. So again, they're only hitting for they're only shooting for the whales because the whales are the late game for sure, and they're the only ones who this is gonna benefit, and not like, I mean, some whales it's gonna be a detriment to, but the top whales it's gonna be a benefit to. So yeah, ROK. What's ROK? ROK? Rise of Knights? I don't know. Yeah, and then there's the Unity drum. I don't know what that's about. All right, well, we're gonna end it here, but you guys can look at all the comments. But the game is dead. Like it's not completely dead, but it's dying. It's so close to dying that it's sad at this point. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching AOG Gaming here. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Really shows your support, helps me out, keeps you up to date on my content. 121 subscribers last time I checked, so y'all are amazing. Keep going. And yeah, again, you can see I have Epic 7. So maybe I'll delete this Dislyte and then this Space Flight Simulator can go up there. I might also delete Idle Awakening. Like again the same thing as Dislyte. The paywalls are just it's it's better than Dislyte honestly, but I don't know. They're pretty much the same. they limit espers to specific things, and there's only specific ways to get them, which you basically have to pay money for. So this site and Idle Awakening, pretty much the same game, but swapped around. And I mean, Idle Awakening is a little different, and this site is obviously a lot different, but same system for getting the heroes and weapons and whatnot. Well, actually not, because at least in Idle Awakening they give you the exclusive equipment for free. All you need to do is grind material for it, again for free. So sadness. Anyway, that's all. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.